So, und jetzt haben wir es tatsächlich nochmal geschafft, eine Legende vor die Kamera zu bekommen. Chris ist hier von NINER und VAAST gehört auch dazu. Das Interview führen wir jetzt auf Englisch. Für deutsche Untertitel einfach auf TC hier oben klicken. Chris, nice to have you
here.
Nice
to meet you too.
I'm so excited to learn more about the VAAST gravel bikes. Can you give us a short rundown what's new with VAAST coming for next year and what's VAAST in general maybe?
Yeah. VAAST is a material science company, and this is one of their first offerings, and the base material from VAAST is a magnesium that they make, and so it looks like aluminum, but it actually has more properties similar to carbon fiber, but with a very light weight and recyclability. One of the interesting things about this magnesium technology is its ability to reduce road vibrations, which is really nice for gravel. And so they have two new bikes for 2022. This version here, which is a one by section, and this one over here is a 2x.
How do you produce a magnesium frame? I've never ridden a magnesium frame. Can you describe it briefly?
Yeah, so magnesium, some people think of magnesium as an older material, but it's now been revived. And magnesium is used quite a bit in like fork materials for forks. And VAAST has come up with some new ways of coating the material to prevent it from corroding or causing any problems. And this is their first generation of bikes that they've come out with. So it really got some interesting technology behind it.
And how complicated is it to manufacture a magnesium bike? Is it as complicated as titanium, or is it as easy as alloy?
There are definitely some quality controls that you need to be conscious of when you're making magnesium, and it's taken a little bit of development time to get to this point with the magnesium, but they have definitely perfected it now and comfortable releasing these bikes to the public.
Interesting. Regarding the price point, where do we find the VAAST bike?
I believe the new price points will be out very shortly. I don't have the prices with me here, but we do have them available.
Okay, and roughly, do you have any idea?
That bike, I believe, is $1,700.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, which is a really good value.
And it's magnesium.
And it's magnesium.
Okay.
And it has the Shimano GRX shifting system on it as well.
That's awesome. Okay, I have expected a way higher price.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about it, because the magnesium, while it has nice properties like carbon fiber, it's around the same price point as an aluminum frame.
That sounds really awesome, interesting.
And they do offer a lifetime warranty on the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Anything you would like to add to VAAST, or should we move over to the NINER bikes?
They also have, they have city bikes, kids bikes. They have a whole line of bikes, and I think the most interesting thing is their new city bike, which is the full suspension e-bike.
Okay, we can have a look shortly there, and then we will go to the NINER gravel bike range.
Okay, sounds good. So this is the new VAAST e-bike. So it's basically a city bike designed sort of to take the place of your car. And what's unique about the bike is that it has a hidden suspension system in here. So it's actually a full suspension bike, but it looks like a rigid bike.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it is that the suspension designer, it's called Nailed, and it was designed by a gentleman named Daryl Voss, designed the suspension system to be ubiquitous, where it's not really noticeable to the rider, but at the same time you have the nice road feel. So think of like a BMW, where you feel the performance feel of the road, but you don't feel the things you don't want to feel, but you still have enough contact and feedback to the rider that you can ride confidently over rough surfaces. And then what they did is that the motor, the battery, and the rider are all in line. So it's isolating the rider from the road versus being a pure suspension system where it's just all focused on the rear wheel. It's more focused on isolating the rider from the road and giving the rider a good road feel.
And now we are on the NINER side of the booth, and one thing that comes to my mind, where's the magic carpet ride bike?
Well, unfortunately, because of COVID, we were limited on supplies, and we couldn't get a bike here to the show. So I apologize not being able to you be able to film.
But you're still producing it?
We're still producing it. We're still selling it. Just limited quantities we have available.
I would love to get my hands on one of those bikes, but you still have a few different gravel bikes that you are showing here, right?
Yeah, we brought two of our most popular rigid versions of the bike. So this is the RLT Ardeo, which is the carbon version, and this is actually a brand new paint color that we're introducing at the show. So this is a two-tone paint paint job, as you can see, it maroon fading to black, and then you've got the trail signatures on the top tube and on the seat tube. And so we have this available, and then we also have our steel version over there.
Cool. Let's go over to the steel version.
And if you've never ridden a steel bike, then you're kind of you're missing out on a special treat. Because people always say, why do you spend so much time developing a steel bike when you could build a carbon bike or something else? But there is something about steel in the way it gives back the road feel to the rider. That's one, it's hard to put into words of how it makes the rider feel. But it's also very difficult to duplicate in other materials. And while people have tried, and we've tried as much as we can with other materials, nothing really replicates the feel of a steel bike. So that's why we still have it, because we still, at the end of the day, riding is fun, and it's about your feelings and emotions, and we just feel like if you get a chance to ride a steel bike, you'll kind of feel that specialness that comes with riding a steel bike that's, again, hard to describe.
May I ask, what's your favorite material for gravel bikes?
I really like the steel bike because of the way it rides, and again, just that romantic feeling that the whole bike has.
So it's super retro, back to the roots. And also combined with the newest technology. I mean, like you have it here.
Again, this is like, it's a lot of hidden technology, because when you look at it, you just see round tubes. But you know, inside the tubes, they're double butted. They go through a 3-stage process of forming of the tubes. So the tubes are actually, the genesis, they start in England at a factory at Reynolds, and it's worked on. It's sent to a special factory in Germany where they run internal mandrels to thin the tubes out, and then they're brought back to England for another piece of treatment, and then it's brought to our factory in Taiwan where they're welded by special welders just for steel, for the Reynolds tubing. So the process is quite complicated, even though it looks like a very simple frame. And the engineering behind it, these are all proprietary made for us, but where the butting is put in, we try to do it to get to maximize that special ride quality you get out of steel.
And you see it in all the details, like this cap or this button here. There's a lot of love included when you were.
We spend a lot of time, like you won't believe how many arguments we have in the office about should we do internal routing on a steel bike, should it be on the outside, where these cables should be clocked at on the tube, you know. So there's a lot of thought process that goes into. We get a lot of feedback from. We have a few team riders that ride the gravel bikes, and we get feedback from them of what they like, don't like, and so yeah, it's kind of a community-built bike.
It looks awesome. Can't wait to test it, really. So maybe a short run on how do we get those NINER bikes and also the VAAST bikes in Germany? Is it shipped through a distribution?
So we work through local bike shops in Germany, and we do have a distribution center in the Netherlands. So and we have a sales team in Germany to help support the bike shops in Germany themselves. So hopefully you can find it in your local German retailer.
I'm pretty sure there's a map on your website where we can find.
We have a dealer locator on our website. So, and then obviously we're always here at the show. That this is a German show at the end of the day, and we're always looking for new dealers as well. So
cool. So if you're a dealer out there and you're looking for proper bikes that are available, are they available?
We have quite a bit of a backlog, like a lot of people do. So, but you know, we're still taking orders for 2022 for bikes,
which is kind of special at the moment.
And we're still able to deliver some bikes for 2022.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for the introduction to NINER and VAAST. That was pretty interesting, and it was an honor to speak to you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for your time.
Awesome.